Francisco Examiner. Can you kind of describe, from your perspective, what happened on Draymond's second technical that resulted in his ejection?
Yeah, CJ, really just because I was trying to get a post up, but he threw it too early. And just one of those moments to where, like, he was like, catch the ball or something like that. But, yeah, that's all really. I don't understand that situation and, like, why the ref did that. But, I mean, I guess that's basketball, but I don't really know. I was confused myself as well. So, I mean, it's not no big deal at all.
Hi, James. Janie McCauley from AP. Steve said they did acknowledge their mistake at halftime. I mean, you're still without Draymond for the rest of the game, but I mean, does it show it's a human game sometimes? And he thought that Draymond was yelling at him.
Yes, Jenny. Really just the same thing that happens in game basketball. We just communicate. The chemistry was there. I kind of messed up on the play, and we was kind of like out of sync, me and Draymond was, and, you know, just how mistakes happen. And then I don't know why the ref did that, though. Like, he thought that he was probably talking to, like, one of the other teammates, but he was talking to me. But, I mean, I don't know. I'm confused myself. Yeah, that was kind of weird. That was a weird moment, to be honest.
Steve seemed pretty upset with what he described as a lack of discipline defensively, particularly reaching in and not attacking guys going straight up, but more reaching into the ball. How do you think you guys can fix some of those issues and kind of get back to a disciplined nature?
I say just work on our perimeter development, because in the back, I'm going to be talking and just guiding everybody to where they need to get to. So I'm going to make sure I take care of my part. But really we just got to just keep building that chemistry in practice. And it's going to take some time. But, I mean, it's literally right there. It's an easy fix. So we just got to just talk, make sure we communicate, and we'll get better at it. Just simple as that. Yeah.
He's champion as a young Warrior, played on the We Believe Warriors for 7 years in the NBA, played 14 years in the league, and he looks so youthful, had his 40th birthday yesterday. So we chatted him up on Warriors pregame live, and let's pick it up with a question from Darrell Wright to Jay Rich.
Jay Rich, I know the Warrior fans would love to know, what was your favorite all-time dunk wearing a Warriors uniform?
Ooh. In game, that's gonna be hard, man. I had some pretty good ones in game. I think the one over Sean Bradley. I think any dunker out there, you know, ever get a chance to dunk on somebody that big, that tall, you gonna remember that one. That's probably my favorite in-game dunk. But I think, you know, anything from my dunk contest, I think those are pretty cool. Some of those dunks, because I never done them before and I never did it again after the dunk contest. So wow. Some of those dunks are one time, happen one time only.
What a good guy he is. 40th birthday yesterday. He looks in tremendous shape, Jason Richardson.
Like
what a good Warrior he is. Yeah. Best dunker in Warrior history. I mean, probably in game, though, the Baron Davis, and he mentioned it over Andre Karolinka, the AK-47
set down.
That's not even
close, though. He's definitely the best dunker of all time in Warrior history. One of the best dunkers ever in the history of the NBA. For sure.
How about your former teammate, Otis Smith? Remember him? He was a pretty good.
He was a good dunker, but not in Jay Rich's.
Not as good as Jay Rich, and it was good catching up with him pregame. So as we were watching the New York Knicks play tonight and watching them throughout the year, the first thing we both noticed, Molly, right away, why is Julius Randle wearing the great Bernard King's jersey, and why is Bernard King's number 30 not retired in the rafters of the world's most famous arena? But Julius Randle, Bernard is a former NBA scoring champion, a Warrior who became a Knick. But I don't know if he ever had a line like this tonight, Molly. Julius Randle, 16 points, 17 rebounds, 9 assists, and only 2 turnovers. What a game.
Well, if he keeps that up, they're going to have to retire twice. Bernard King's jersey needs to be hanging up in MSG.
Over the Nets.
St. Bernard.
Oh, look at that. St. Bernard.
From Fort Greene Projects in Brooklyn, New York. He needs to be hanging up in the rafters. One of the best of all time. What a scorer he was.
I mean, after the 5 that were on the championships team, Clyde and Pearl, Bill Bradley, DeBusschere, Willis, Patrick Ewing, Would he be the next great New York Knick of all time?
Absolutely. But if Julius Randle's putting up 16 points, 17 boards, and 9 assists, I think Bernard's going to rent that number out for a few years.
Yeah, without a doubt. And how much of Julius Randle? He was having a good game, but after Draymond Green left the game in the third quarter, Darrell, he just carved the Warriors up with that skip pass to Bullock.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure his eyes lit up when he seen Draymond go out the game, and he had to deal with that. But just the playmaking skills, I knew he had it in him, but just to see how he's averaging 7 assists throughout the season and getting guys involved and scoring at will, he's a good player. He's a good player. He picked the perfect spot.
I'm really impressed with his playmaking. We knew he could score and rebound, but it looks like he's really focused on getting his teammates involved. He knows he's going to get his shot attempts and his rebounds, really concentrating on the assist.
Yeah, and obviously with Draymond Green getting ejected, miscommunication with the official, John Butler. He was actually yelling at his teammate, James Wiseman. Warriors were down just 5 at that point at 60-55. So we are going to bring Kareth Burke in to check out our Warriors postgame live. And it's great to see you, Kareth, through Zoom. We have missed you, our first time on Warriors postgame live. So when Steve was meeting the media, we were kidding that Greg Popovich left town, but that sounded a lot like Greg Popovich. Caustic, biting, extremely accurate, I think, assessment of his team. That he was trying to say that, you know, some of the fouls shouldn't have been called, but he called his team out in 2 main categories: fouling way too much and not rebounding well. He was hard on his team tonight.
He was. This really felt like public shots fired, that everything that he just told the team in the locker room, he was now telling the media. So if players are looking on social media tomorrow or reading stories about the game, they have to see it a second time. And the words that stuck out to me tonight were undisciplined on defense. He was talking about the reaching and the hacking. And then I think the quote from Steve that's going to get a lot of play tomorrow is this one: "We're not a good team. We're 8-7. We're a mediocre team." Mediocre stings. And he's talking about how on defense is basically a decision, right? You have to decide to play with intensity. You have to decide to play with focus. The team didn't have that tonight. And Steve essentially said 13 players came into this game because it was punitive. If you reached, he would take them right out, and then he just had to rotate guys, and they couldn't find anything on defense. And Andrew Wiggins kind of explained, we weren't the team that we were yesterday, and the Warriors played their best game of the season on both sides of the ball against the Spurs. So 24 hours later, you see a change this big. Yes, Draymond was ejected. Yes, this is the second game of a back-to-back, but you are in control of your own energy, and I feel like the team has a lot of reasons to feel pretty dejected right now, and they're going to have to listen to these words from their coach until the very next game.
Well, they are going to fly to Salt Lake City. Thank you, Kareth, by the way. Good to talk to you again, even though we're doing it via Zoom. Good to see you. I don't know if they're going to do anything before they fly to Salt Lake City. And the start time of Saturday's game got pushed back for a night game. It was going to be 2 o'clock. Now it's 6 o'clock. So you could get something. Do you think they'll have a film session where he follows up, at least? Maybe not anything on the floor, Mully, but you sting your team like this, you got to address them before you even board that flight tomorrow, don't you?
Absolutely. I think tomorrow is get some shots up, break a little sweat, but more a mental day. And you have to see what coach is talking about. And a lot of times players think they're doing one thing and they're doing another. So you need to see it, be accountable for it, and most importantly, change it for the game Saturday in Utah.
And I think he's doing the reverse psychology again, just making sure these guys aren't getting comfortable. Yeah, you guys just come off 2 good wins, but we're not that team to be able to spot teams' points and have the same firepower to erase a 15-point lead in 1 quarter. So he has to keep these guys honest and keep them, you know, humble and hungry to work and get better. So I like the approach to the team.
I don't know what the headline's going to be tomorrow. Kerr rips Warriors, or Draymond gets ejected, not for yelling at the official, but yelling at James Wiseman. And we didn't click the audio up, but it was, come on, man, F that, F that. So it was a very interesting exchange between Draymond and the rookie. Let's hear from James Wiseman. We get reaction right now.
What's going on?
Well, he's playing so early after the turnaround. They won the NBA championship in the bubble in mid-October, and here they are starting the year in late December and now a month into the season.
Well, it just shows his dedication and work ethic and the way he takes care of his body, the way he's doing at 19 years in the league. And I think the mentality, what Anthony Davis just said there, we don't want to lose 2 in a row. So they learned from the loss against the Warriors, went on the road, and beat one of the favorites in the East, the Milwaukee Bucks.
And good teams, they expect to win games that they mark on the calendar and say that we should win this game. So I'm pretty sure the way they lost it to really hurt. You know, the Warriors coming back and how they did it on their home court, that definitely didn't feel good. So, yeah, the Bucks had one coming for them.
It's funny, just as it was the Warriors' best win of the year, from the Lakers' standpoint, it was one of the worst losses of the year.
Yeah.
And they went and fixed it tonight.
All right, we're going to have a little fun. On Warriors pregame live, we got a chance.